Hello students, welcome to ArtBeat short-term course. In today's session, we're going to learn about acrylic abstract painting. So for this, we're going to need our pencil, eraser, sharpener, a cup of water, and we need a flat brush and a round brush of 2, 1 and 000 size, and we need our sponge, and we also need our acrylic paints of white, red and black color, and we need burnt sienna, that is a brown color, and also yellow, and we need a green color, and we need red, that is a vermilion hue, and also we need a lemon yellow color. So I hope you're all ready with the materials. Now I need a palette as well to mix the colors. So I have taken my canvas cloth and I've already masked the tape all the four sides, and now let me just draw a sketch before starting the painting. So, what is an abstract art? Isn't it very different from a real life art? Yes, abstract art is about exploring form and color. One could even venture to say that it is artist drawing half the feel. Abstract art isn't about making perfect copies of real life. Sometimes it isn't even about giving the impression of real life without all the little details. So, in fact, depending on the artist, abstract art became about the process itself. So, as you can see now, I'm making a basic sketch with my pencil. You can also make it in a normal paper and then transfer the sketch. That is also possible. So, abstract art is mainly about the shapes and the angles and the colors and the expression. We express our feelings and whatever we are gonna say it through art, we express it through colors and the shapes of it. So, that is what is abstract art. So, I'm just making a face over here. It is okay to use your scale as well to make your art more perfect. There is nothing wrong in that. But if you are good enough to not use your scale and then put a line, that is more better. So now we are done with our sketch. So now let's start off with our painting. So first I'm taking my brown color and I'm applying it as background and also my yellow color inside the face. Okay, so I have already applied the brown and the yellow color. So I have just used a flat wash technique. There is nothing, there is no patches, there is no white spaces, there is no strokes over here. It's just a clean painting in between the spaces. Now I'm taking my green color and white color. Now I'm mixing my green and white color and it has become a lighter green, and I filled it for the left and the right face spaces. Now as you can see, I am using my darker brown shade color over here, and I'm taking my flatter brush and then I'm applying it to my sponge, or you can directly dip it with the sponge as well, and I'm dabbing the sponge. So you can even call this as a dabbing technique. So I'm using my sponge and dabbing it all around the background. So as you can see, I'm getting a nice texture and the darker color over the background. You can make your own textures using the sponge. That is also possible. And be careful with the edges. Do not let the darker brown color and the texture let in the face. Now I'm mixing my yellow color with the sponge by the same dabbing technique. I'm just blending both the darker brown and the yellow color. Now I'm using my orange color and I have washed my sponge or take a different sponge, and then again I'm blending it with the background. I'm using the same dabbing technique over here. So now our background is almost ready. I'm just cutting the sponge into a small piece so that we can use it inside the face. So we need a smaller length or smaller size of the sponge. So I have just cut it into the shape I want, and I'm using the same color which I have applied in the background, that is a lighter green or lighter blue, and I'm applying it using the dabbing technique. So wherever I have used this color, I'm using the dabbing technique and I'm applying it using my sponge. Also I'm mixing it with white to give the highlights, and also I have done the same thing for the yellow color. I have used my orange and yellow to mix in it. Now I have taken my black acrylic and I'm giving the outline. I'm giving the outline. So whatever we have made using our pencil sketch, so that lines we will be outlining using our black acrylics. You can use a smaller number brush in order to get a very thin line. So I'm using a one size brush. You can also use a zero size brush if you're not good enough to use the brush so thin. Now I'm taking my white acrylic paint and I'm cleaning it. So what is the meaning of cleaning it? So as you can see, we can observe that some of the colors are outside the border as well. So there are some colors which has come out of the line and mixed with the brown or the blue. So I'm just covering it with my white color. So this can also be called as a correction. So wherever the extra colors have spread out outside the line or inside our artwork, so we will cover it up using our white color. Now you can see that it is clean and neat, isn't it? So we'll do the same thing for all over our artwork. And I'm just giving a very lighter gray shade next to the black line to give a shadow effect. I'm going over the sketch now. Using my black paint, I'm outlining, and I'm using the gray shade for the shadow effect. Now I am giving a lighter yellow shade. That is a lemon yellow which I am using over here. Just filling it inside the borders. So now I have done the same thing for all over my sketch. So I have just outlined it. I have not used any other colors over here. So now the left out part was the lips. So for the lips I'm using the vermilion hue, that is the red color. And I'm coloring both the lips in our artwork. So first I just filled it with red color. And I'm doing the same thing for the second lips. So now I have even filled the red color for the second lip. So now let us give some highlight for the lips. So I'm washing my brush and I'll be taking a white color in order to give the highlight. So wherever we want the highlights, I'm just applying the dots or the lines with the white color. And now I'm blending both the red and the white color. So now you can see a nice and neat highlight over the lips. So if you want more highlights, just add more white color and blend both red and white. So now you can see that we have got a complete detailed lip shape, and even with the highlights it's looking good, isn't it? Now I'm applying yellow color for the outer eye. So here I'm just filling the colors. I'm not doing anything else. I'm not using any textures to create this. So I'm just filling it. And now I'm just giving a lighter shade of the brown. I'm just giving the lighter shade of the brown for the eyeballs. And now I'm using my white paint and correcting the colors which has come out, which has to be covered with white. Now I'm just using a lightest gray shade around the eye. And for the middle eye, I'm using a lightest red shade. Remember, it has to be the lightest. You cannot fill in the normal red color inside the eye. And now I'm using my black color and covering the eyeballs. I'm just leaving a white space for the highlight of the eyeball. So these are the parts where I have used the highlights. Practice this again and again. And remember, art is always a good start. Meet you in the next session.